Alright, welcome back to Hope for a New World. Now I know I haven't made a Yu-Gi-Oh! Deck profile in ages. Like I said, I was going to take a bit of a break, but guess what guys? As you can see, I'm back. Now, the irony is that this deck profile was based on the previous decks that I made. This deck was supposed to be made by December, but there were complications. I didn't get the cards in time, and then I saw I had to balance the deck out with the other deck that I'm trying to pair this one with. As you guys know, I don't know if you know, but I do like making the deck profiles, like this deck versus this deck, so we can have like friendly anime duels like that. Now, the issue I had with this deck was that Kabaman doesn't play that many cards in the anime. So when I go to YouTube, I see a bunch of, 3 blue eyes, 3 of this, 3 of that. So many like cards repeated, and I'm like, man, I want to see the individual cards. So for this one, I did something special. I took all the cards from the anime that I could find, but then I went for all the video games that he was using, and that's how I was able to match it with the other deck that I have, to match this Kaibaman. But without further ado, this is my Kaiba deck profile. I hope you guys enjoy it. Now, here we go. And I'll be explaining like my reasoning behind the cards. So obviously, the first reasoning, Blue Eyes White Dragon, original art. I mean, Kaibaman is basically Kaiba, or at least it's like represents Kaiba. So in GX, he even had the original art, so I went with 3 copies of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Look at that. That looks, oh, I love it, amazing. Every time I draw into a Blue Eyes, I feel like Kaiba. Yeah, so this would be first one. Yeah, another thing I was thinking is I wish I could put all the cards aligned. Maybe I should do that for the next videos, but for today, keep doing it like this. So next up, so the other 2 tribute monsters that Kaibaman has is Sword Stalker and Different Dimension Dragon. I gotta be honest, I don't like Different Dimension Dragon. I do like Sword Stalker, but you're gonna see why I wanted to put more dragons in this deck, besides the fact that it's a Kaibaman deck. So I went with a normal dragon monster, Luster Dragon, and I had to get it super rare. I love this card, looks so cool. Right? It's not Summon Skull, but I really like this dragon. Alright. Next up, 1 copy of Paladin of White to summon, Kaibaman used it to summon Blue Eyes. It's got a great effect, especially summon Blue Eyes from the deck, so but only 1 copy. And as you can see, these are technically my tribute monsters. 5 normal monsters and 1 ritual monster. Right now for the level 4 or lower monsters, we have 3 copies of Luster Dragon, once again, to go with those normal monsters. Again, you guys are gonna see why I needed the normal monsters. It's a dragon, good beat stick, like why not? And I love this dragon. Alright, next up we have Kaiser Seahorse. Kaibaman did play, as far as I remember, he did play it, or at least we know he had it on the deck, or it's easy to replace, it counts as tribute for Blue Eyes White Dragon. So also pretty high attack, so had to go in the deck. And now here we go. Things that are distinct from Kaibaman, right, would be, well, besides the Paladin of White, we also have to include at least 1 Manju of the 10,000 hands. I had a previous deck profile for this deck where it had 2 of these, and I was like, nah, man, I like drawing into those single cards. So just like my cousin says, when you get that 1 card, you feel like, man, you just draw into an amazing card. And I did start seeing that it was that the second Manju, for some reason, usually was a dead draw. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just play like the anime, right? 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Single copies of each card except Blue Eyes. Well, in this case, it will be Luster Dragon, but who cares? Next up, now here you're seeing stuff that Kaibaman never had. I had to include this one because, you just pay 5,000 life points and you summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And the point of Kaibaman is to just spam, right? Blue Eyes White Dragon, just feel like Kaiba. So you can bring this Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon on the first turn with this. It's a bit risky. I'm not sure if Kaiba ever had this in the deck, but I had to put it because this is my ideal Kaibaman deck, so I put 1 Cyber Sign. And let's be honest, everybody in the Game Boys did this, right? you got a Cyber Sign, pay 5,000, summon Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, right? Alright, next up, now here, we're going into some of the cards that were in this. I think it was Spirit Caller, right? Which I'm currently playing. Kaibaman apparently has Morphing Dart and Spirit Caller, so this is a good card for drawing more cards, so I went with this one. Now I don't remember if he had this copy of King of the Swamp in one of the video games, but it's a substitute for Blue Eyes, and and it can bring Polymerization to your hand. It's a great searcher card. So yes, I'm putting one king in the swamp here. Kaiba had Bersaga the Destroyer, but this guy is a lot better, unless you're looking for the dark attribute. All right, next up, another card that is unusual. Kaiba did have Spirit Reaper. I think it's also, once again, a Spirit Caller. Spirit Caller seems to have like overall the best cards, so Spirit Reaper. Yes, Magician of Faith. Apparently he had it on the video games. One copy of Marshmallow. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. And then last but not least, 3 secret rare Kabaman. The other reason why I wanted to make this deck, because the guy is in the freaking deck. Yeah. And I don't know if Kaiba actually has 3 Kaibaman on the deck, but he summons one, summons a Blue Eyes Red Dragon immediately, and I just want to spam that. Yeah. Other cards that I thought for this deck was cards. Wait, I don't have it here, right? It was like I had a Sangan once, right? But I wanted to be with some. I wanted to put some limits on this deck, so that's why I went with like the cards that were available in the video games. That's why Sangan is not here, but Sangan is a great searcher for this card. All right, now starting up with the magic cards. Now we start with the. Usually I start with the draw power. So we have Graceful Charity. Right, no need to explain why these cards are here. Pot of Greed, and sadly, look how messed up this Pot of Avarice is. Goodness, I'm gonna be getting another one. I can't stand looking at this. Because it's okay. I'm okay with some busted cards, but this is just too much. Anyways, yeah, he does play Graceful Charity, Pot of Greed, and Pot of Avarice in the video game, so I added 1 copy of it. It is also a good, depending on how you play it. You're going to see why I say that. It is good to recycle your Blue Eyes Kaibamans, bring them back to the deck if you need anything. And then draw 2 cards. And then lastly, yes, he uses 1 gold sarcophagus. I think, and most of these cards are from Spirit Caller. There might be some other cards from other video games, if there are any, but most of them are from Spirit Caller. And he also played Lightning Vortex, Goat Eras type of card. And finally, we have a magic card corresponding to Blue Eyes. Burst Stream of Destruction. I always like the art of this card. Love the name. And of course, it's blowing up your opponent's side of the field. Even if you can't attack, I don't care. I've always wanted to pull this. Alright, next up, really good card, of course, Heavy Storm. Yeah, he also played, again, this is like with the video games, also played Premature Burial. And now here's where it starts getting a bit crazy. So it looks like he also had Future Fusion in the video games. So as you can imagine, yes, this is also for bringing out Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. You just turn 1, send all your Blue Eyes to the graveyard, and you just have Ultimate Dragon on the 2nd turn. And to kind of play around with that, as you're going to see in the Fusion deck, what I have, next up is Dragon's Mirror. So you can literally start the game with Cyberstein. You pay all those life points, you summon a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Or you can start with a Future Fusion. You send all your Blue Eyes to the graveyard, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, and then you get to play Dragon's Mirror. Send away all those Blue Eyes White Dragons and summon another Fusion monster. It's just gonna wreak havoc. And yes, these cards were in the video game. Finally, another card that Kaibaman actually used, it was Silent Doom. And Polymerization, this GX version. I didn't even know this card was secret rare. I'm glad that I saw it, because I like the old rarities, of course. I'm OG Yu-Gi-Oh! For dual monsters. But of course, it had to be the GX art and secret rare. The rarer, the better the deck looks. Now, Fiendish Sanctuary, I was told by YouTube that Kaibaman is shown holding this card. But decided to put it here because of a certain trap card that you all know. That really helps out, that it requires a dark, one that's an attack point dark monster. So, Fiendish Sanctuary is not just for like helping tribute or stalling with a monster, but also for a trap card. Alright, next up is White Dragon's Ritual, of course, for the White Paladin. And then another card that he used was Cost Down, also helps out with the Blue Eyes. If not, you can just normal summon a Luster Dragon. That's really good. And it also helps you like discard. If you need a card in the graveyard, it'll help you discard. And now going to the excellent trap cards, we have the Mirror Force. You can't go wrong with that. Torrential Tribute. Yes, these cards were played in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Spirit Caller video game. We also have iconic Kaiba card, Ring of Destruction, and voila, of course, Crush card. For the, you have Spirit Reaper, Cyber Sign, and you also have Fiend's Sanctuary. And this card is super annoying. As you can see, I got the, I think this is called like Ultimate Rare version. The reason I got it this way is because this one still contains the old effect, which is more annoying. So it's like your opponent's trying to draw into a good monster and they keep getting blown up. That's the point of like Crush card, right? And then the last trap card is a Call of the Haunted, which you again played in the video games. And that's it for the main deck. As you can see, a lot of cards that, so these cards are generally like broken when it comes to these anime duels. That's why I said, okay, I need to make another deck that kind of competes with this guy. Because this is like too broken. So just spoilers, I made an Atticus deck with a more like pure Red Eyes format to match this Blue Eyes deck. Now, going to the extra deck, as you can see, something Kaibaman did not use, 5-headed dragon, but now you can see why I have Future Fusion, multiple, like a bit more dragon monsters, just to summon this guy, 5-headed dragon. I'll put here. Then, of course, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. This is like, you summon this, whether you win or lose the fight, you summon this, you feel like you're Kaibaman or Kaiba, so like, beautiful, amazing card, right? So iconic, Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Then we have Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon. This is a more modern card and it's kind of overpowered, so depending on if you guys end up making these decks or want to play, or if I play with my cousin, depending on what my cousin and I decide, I may have this card in the deck or not, because it's really hard to get rid of when you have it on the field with with these type of older cards. Yeah. Next up, we have First of the Dragons. So now you're seeing why I have all those normal monsters, because in case I need an emergency monster, that I have, Luster Dragon 2 and Luster Dragon 1, which ironically here they're just Luster Dragon. So you just use polymerization or whatever to bring this thing out to help me out. Okay, now those are the fusions of the main deck that I chose, right? Which Kaibaman only played this one, in the Game Boys he played this one, and then these two were like, well, Kaiba played this one, so that's why I wanted it here. And even though Kaibaman didn't play this one, it's still like, this one's not as broken. It's annoying, but it's not as broken. And now we're starting with the next cards, which you guys can imagine, of course. You guys already probably know why I have it in Japanese. I'm not paying like 30 bucks or more for this card. I'll just wait when it goes cheaper. But I saw it and I was like, bro, I don't even know if I can summon it. But I'm like, bro, look at this thing. I need to have it. I want to have it. So yeah, so I got one of these cards in Japanese. All right. And then following up, the classic one, Dragon Master Knight. Now, if you're wondering how to summon these cards, it's going to be extremely hard, but that's why we have Creature of the Swamp to replace the Blackluster Soldier, or for in this case, the Chaos Monster. I don't know if I can even do that, but whatever. My cards, my rules. All right. Next up, the other Ultimate Dragons. We have Blue Eyes Alternative Ultimate Dragon. Again, you see why I kind of took these out of the main deck, but at the same time, I have them on the side deck, just in case they're broken. But hey, if you want like a full out, extra deck, then here's an alternative, right? Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, the Neos Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. There you have like 3 Ultimate Dragons. And lastly, Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. Right, you gotta keep it Blue Eyes. It's Kabaman. Oh, this one requires 2 tuners. So now I'm gonna be confirming if I have it here. But I do have, I'm supposed to have the 2 tuners on the side deck to be able to summon this. Another recent amazing card. More Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons. Then we have the classical 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, right? And Azure Eyes Silver Dragon. At least thank you, Konami. At least I'll say this. Thank you for the Blue Eye support, giving us the ability to have the Indigo Eye Silver Dragon. And lastly, Spirit with Eyes of Blue. And then another card that I went with was this one. Now, I'm not good with Link monsters, so I don't remember exactly why I went with this card. I guess, because I checked online. So when I have cards left, that I have, usually I try to make my decks, 15 cards in the side deck, 40 in the main deck, 15 on the extra deck. So when I'm running out of options and I don't know anything about Yu-Gi-Oh, I go to YouTube and I search what are the modern cards for this, because I want to see them, you know. All right, so now with that, you know, after showing that, this is my extra deck. Now let's go for the side deck to see how the heck am I going to summon all those other cards that we just saw. So first off, one copy of Blue Eyes Alternative White Dragon. I love this card, it looks amazing. It's a great Blue Eyes support. I don't know how good it is now with the mono Blue Eyes, but I was like, I don't want to, again, I don't want to have repeats, not even here. So this is one of my favorite Blue Eyes cards released. So I went with that. Then we have one of the funniest jokes that Konami ever did, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, actually becoming a card. We have this one too. And now we go for the lower monsters, like Dictator of B. Then we have the brand new Kaibaman, because it's a Kaibaman deck, so I was like, nah man, gotta put one of these, right? To have Kaibaman, the legend. Maiden of White. I gotta make sure if I have the tuners, right? This is one of the tuners required for the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. Neo Kaiser Seahorse. Okay, here we go. Sage with Eyes of Blue. Again, you can see YN, White Stone of Ancients. Okay, so I do have the tuners. This is gonna be, I'm assuming it might be pretty hard. I don't know, I haven't played this deck. With these cards, I mean. I haven't played the deck with these cards, but this, it's amazing. With this, I haven't even tried it, but yeah, this is what I got for now. Bingo Machine. Again, I had it on my binder. I was like, you know, I don't want to be putting 3/3/3 of each card. I want to go with single cards, and I think a while back this card was really expensive, and then it started going to like down in price. I was able to get it, so yeah, one Bingo Machine. Now, again, here we go with the structure deck, Wishes for Eyes of Blue. So this is the only card that I have 2 copies of. It's just to like help out with the Synchro Monster. I think it's because when I was mastering it with the Atticus Red Eyes deck, there was, you're gonna, when I show you guys that deck, you're gonna see that that one also has 2 of a particular card. Now this one I think is more broken, but so I only picked 1 card that had multiple copies, so it's this one. 1 copy of Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. And we have Ultimate Fusion to help out with those fusions, of course. And then 2 trap cards would be True Light and Majesty of the White Dragons. So yeah, as you can see, usually, this is what I usually do. When I don't have enough cards from the anime or from the games to put on the main deck, I actually start filling the deck with modern cards. The issue is that if it's too much or the cards are too modern, it could be really broken. Luckily for this one, I had enough from the game itself to make a consistent 40 card deck, right? But then with the 15 card decks, I was like, oh, I want to see a bit more modern Blue Eyes cards, so that's why you got to see this. And then lastly, you know, of course, you got to see this on the Fusion deck. So yeah, this is my version of the Kabaman. I wanted to go a bit slower because I know this is a very different from what you see online. This is not a pure Kabaman deck, but I'm glad because I don't like seeing 3/3/3/3 of each cards. I like playing it unique. You know, for 3/3/3 we already have the tournament plays. And yeah, but at the same time, I also wanted to make it matching certain decks. So this will be Kaibaman versus Atticus, like that set. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. Give me your thoughts. You know, like, comment, subscribe, as everybody says. It's copying everybody else. If you guys get to play online with these decks, if you enjoy it, please let me know. I'm gonna be trying to play with my cousin on Dueling Book because I know people were asking, like, oh, why don't you like test out these decks? So, and we have been, but we've been testing out my cousin's decks first before we test out mine. Yeah, with that being said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.